Hey, y'all. Hey, collective. All right. I hope you guys are doing really well today. I hope you guys um, are just, healing, getting that clarity that you need. I always pray for y'all to have clarity and understanding and that it leads to some kind of healing for you guys. Okay. So I'm going to do a straight talk. I haven't done one in a little bit. So I'm going to pull a card from this prism deck and do a straight talk today. All right, you guys. Let's see what Spirit wants to talk about today. And so, what I do with these is I just pull a card from here because of the things that they talk about or on these cards, and just channel energy and just come. It's coming from more like an educational standpoint more than like an actual reading. Okay. Let's see what we need to talk about today for the divine feminine, divine masculine collective. What are we talking about today, Spirit? Okay. Space. Yes. Creating space. Okay. So, first of all, you always want to create space for whatever you're calling in, right? You always want to create space for whatever you are calling in, whatever you are manifesting, whatever you've written down, whatever you've put on your list. You want to be in alignment with that, right? And a lot of times it really does call for you to eliminate people, places, things. Excuse me, it might require you to even change a job. So, for instance, if you guys are calling in love, which I feel like a lot of y'all are calling in your lovers or your twin flame or your soulmate, husband, whatever, and calling a relationship, okay, you might need to find another job if your job requires you to be on call 24/7, right? There may be something that you need to maybe dial back on the hours, maybe work a different shift to create that space so you can date somebody. Some of y'all are just so tied up with friendships that it's hard for you to date somebody and make space for the person you're dating because your friends require all this extra attention and energy from you. You may not realize it, but you feel like you need your friends, but a lot of times it's the other way around, especially when you're healed, right? When you're divine feminine, divine masculine, and you're on your spiritual journey, okay, wherever you're at on your spiritual journey, um, you get that light bulb moment to where you realize, okay, they're really feeding more off of my energy because you might be the friend that is the one who helps everybody else. You're just there for the enjoyment of companionship, but your friends are there because they really need your advice. They really do need to talk to you. They really do need to vent because you really do make them, like they're dependent on that energy. And so a lot of times what happens is when you start dating someone, then your friends become more even needy and needier and needier. I don't even think that's a word, but it is today. They just become more needy, right? They need all your time now. Now that your friend ain't never asked you to come help them pick out outfits, but now they need you to be at the mall with them for 2 hours because they just really can't decide. So some of y'all need to realize that these friends are doing this purposely. Okay. They're doing it on purpose to take you away from your new relationship so that you're not giving time to this new person because some friends are jealous in this energy. Okay. And so that's an example, okay, of something, like I said, creating that space for your new boo to come in. A lot of y'all need to create space around your home. I'm not saying you got to clear out drawers and create a drawer for this person, but I know my cousin is doing that. So whatever, whatever, however you call in your soulmate, however you work with your guides, okay, you might want to make space on one side of the closet just to help you to manifest it. So whenever you see it, you like, okay, yes, I'm creating space for my husband to put you in that kind of like mind frame, right? You may want to pretend like you kissing your wife before you leave and go to work because that's what you really want to do. You want a wife that you can kiss before you go to work, okay? So knowing that there's some things that maybe we need to change in our lives to put us in a better position to receive somebody, okay. 444 just popped up, so there may need to be placing protective like boundaries. Thank you, Spirit. Putting boundaries in place on these friends and these family members. Okay, your boss at work. All right, things that the church group, things like that that you may need to just like pull from, because when you single, a lot of times, especially if you single with no children, you tend to be very involved in a bunch of different groups, like in different communities, or you tend to have a lot going on because you don't have a relationship to tend to, or a child or children to tend to. But if that's what you want, then you need to create the space for that to come in. Okay, so you will have to dial it back. You can't be devoted to a child and then devoted to seven groups at church and your friends and planning all the parties for all the birthdays for the family and right. So this is about retreating. Okay, this is about being able to know when to say, oh, you know what, I'm probably not gonna be able to do that anymore. And a lot of people feel like you don't have to create the space until something comes in your life, but it can't come in if there's no room for it. It's just like if you have a living room full of furniture, only so many more pieces of furniture can come in there before it really feels crowded, right? So if someone comes, because you've been to a house before, everyone's been to a house where somebody's a hoarder, and you walk in there and it's like, do you really need five couches in here? Like, well, you can't let go of one of them. How I'm supposed to, like, do you have that much company coming over? Do you have parties? No, no, it's just my mama gave me that couch, and then this couch over here is from when I, had my first apartment in college, and then this other couch is what I had when I first got married. It's like, okay, come on now. And a lot of times you find that you're attached to things because you're attached to the memory of it. Well, even that needs to go sometimes. You need to create space for new memories, right? Because that's what you're wanting to come in. So sometimes things, objects, that we hang on to for memories can also keep us stagnant in that energy. Furniture holds energy. I remember when I was with somebody, we used to always get into it and things like that when we lived together. When we broke up and he let me have all the furniture. Well, guess what? I was dating somebody, we were totally fine. Then I moved out of my mom's house, got my own place, moved that furniture into my house, and guess what happened? My relationship fell apart. I'm not saying it was due just to that, but I feel like that energy was put because we started arguing and we had never argued before. And so that aspect of our relationship, I feel like was coming from that energy of that furniture from my past relationship. It's okay to let go of things, buy new things, sell things off. You don't have to keep everything because you are also keeping those memories that are attached to it and the energy that it holds, good or bad. I'm not saying you can't be sentimental, but somebody, like I said, with that five couches situation, it's an exaggeration, but it's also like what I mean by hoarding, hanging on to things. Okay, so making space in your home is important as well. Cleansing your space regularly, praying for this person, all that stuff still works. But in the physical, sometimes we have to get rid of things. So there's a need also for someone to create space in their brain to think of someone else. Some people, you've been single for so long, or you could be up in age to where you're just kind of stuck in your own, ways. There's a need to kind of like tweak the way that you're thinking, your relationships, the what you feel like a woman or a man's role is in a relationship. You have to create space in your brain to receive somebody as well, mentally as well as physically, because if your brain is still stuck on, well, a woman's role is just to do this, or a man's role is just to do this, then you might block, your person from coming in because of your so-called standards, but really that's a blockage, a belief system that is keeping you stagnant. Okay. Being more forgiving in your approach to receiving someone. I mean, allow someone to come in and be themselves, right? Don't try to change the way someone is right off the bat. Oh no, you two this, you two that. I can't. Like no, and especially if you're out dating, actively dating. Allow yourself, just try it, instead of like having in your mind, like, oh, this ain't gonna work. No, he didn't come in here with them tennis shoes on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just feel somebody out after you listen to them, after you get a better understanding of who they are. Okay. Maybe not be so judgmental about the physical, or, somebody say that they go to the gym all the time. Oh, he one of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, mm-mm. You have to open up your brain to receive someone without any bias. You know what I'm saying? Without any kind of preconceived notions about they must be like this because they're a pretty girl. Oh look, he tall, dark, and handsome. So here we go. You know, like I'm picking up on that energy here. For some of y'all, you have to let that go. Okay. And so you have to also allow room for this person to be themselves when they come in. Get to know this person, not as a tall, dark, and handsome man or a really pretty female or someone who has a lot of money or something like that. Like all of that kind of stuff can change. Honestly, it can. Somebody could be beautiful today, get into some kind of like freak accident or something, and now maybe not so beautiful. Then what? Because all that stuff fades. It can go away. It can come. It can go. It just as fast as you get it. You know what I mean? So what are you left with? The insides of a person. That's it. What's on the inside? This is just a shell of a person. What they have, what you see, is just a shell of a person. Some people are really empty inside without all of these things to make them who they feel like they are. It was just 11:11 on the clock. So yeah, just manifesting someone who's not superficial, right? Maybe that needs to be the change as well as how you're manifesting someone. Maybe not manifest. Oh, I want somebody with a lot of money. Okay, well, do you want them to still be? What if you do get somebody with a lot of money, but they're not generous with their money? They don't share it with you. They ask you to sign a prenup. They don't give you more than what they feel like you deserve, and all this, and that, right? So maybe just opening up your mind when you're manifesting this new person to come in. Maybe opening up your mind to other things like, oh, I want someone with integrity. I want someone who is responsible. I want someone who knows how to love me. You know what I mean? Like instead of I want somebody who got their own car, their own house, and a good job. I mean, that's a lot. That is important, but it's not the only thing that's important because you can have somebody with all those things and they treat you like shit. So there's a need, I feel like, too, to just ask for something that's more of substance, right? More something that's like longevity, like that make the makeup of a person versus what they have. And a lot of times we ask and pray for that kind of stuff because of where we've been. I don't want no broke nigga no more. I don't want to be with no female who don't want to work no more. You know what I'm saying? So be careful not to bring that into what you're manifesting for this new relationship. That's why I said you may want to try to manifest like someone's attributes. Like, oh, I want someone spiritual who knows how to, who has discernment. You know what I'm saying? Because that right there takes care of a lot of shit. It trickles down. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the root of a lot of people's issue right there. Somebody who maybe not have integrity or something like that, they're gonna lie a lot. They're gonna try to cover up, or maybe someone's people pleasing, blah blah blah. Like if you have somebody who has integrity, a lot of that stuff is weeded out. If you have someone who's spiritual and who is, able to use their discernment, that takes care of a lot of bullshit in itself. Okay, someone who's responsible. Well, they're going to be responsible with themselves. They're going to be responsible with you. They're a responsible person. That's how they move. You know what I mean? So maybe kind of thinking in terms of that, like attributes, things that are long lasting, the makeup of a person rather than the shell of a person. Um, Maybe some of you guys have lost a lot as well in past relationships, and so maybe just wanting to hang on to every little thing. Because if you think about it, when you move in with somebody, they have things at their home, you have things at your home, right? Y'all don't need two couches. Like I said, with them five couches, you don't need two couches, two love seats, and two two coffee tables. There's a decision that's going to have to be made eventually, right? um so getting to those, when you get to that stage of your relationship where y'all decide to move in with each other, there's nothing wrong with y'all both just deciding to sell y'all furniture and going to go buy something together. Okay, because now this is y'all's couch, y'all's table, right? Sorry y'all, I just hit this. I'm talking with my hands. um there's nothing wrong with going to go buy your own stuff to make up your space, your home. Okay, because that's something that y'all can go do together. That creates a different kind of bond instead of that's my couch. Did you just spill something on my couch? You know what I'm saying? That's y'all's couch. So now both of y'all will have respect for this couch. You know what I mean? There's no harm in starting over with someone, letting the old things go. And, like I said, y'all both can sell y'all furniture and get a fire ass sectional or something. You know what I'm saying? And two end tables or whatever. Y'all could deck out y'all whole brand new living room if y'all both sold y'all stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's things like that. I'm not saying y'all gotta, do that, but it's just like suggestive thinking. Okay. Um, excuse me. Something about too where you're visualizing. There's a need for you to visualize. I won't say a need because I feel like y'all are pretty good with that because it does come out a lot in the readings where y'all are able to like not necessarily predict, but to just listen to your guys and know what's coming. Okay, but I feel like there's something too about whenever y'all this. How do I want to say this? Letting go is like that when you know that you can't fall. There we go. When you know that you can't just fall back on stuff. This is like the idea of, yeah, we'll move in together, but I'm gonna just still keep my apartment though. You know what I'm saying? You're not really telling the universe that, hey, this is, I really am ready to move forward, right? You're not telling that person that you're really ready to move forward either. You're still trying to hang on to something that makes you feel secure, right? Instead of just taking the leap into a relationship that you manifested, that you said you wanted. Okay. So then there's a need to trust yourself that you have manifested the right person for you in your life. Or maybe just pray and ask, God to send you who is supposed to come to you, right? But then you can't judge that person when they come to you because they may not be what you thought you would receive, but they may be everything that you need. So don't be afraid to take that leap also. Okay, create space in your heart for someone, create space in your mind for someone, and also in your in the physical sense as well. That visionary thing also I'm getting because I saw this card over here. With that, envisioning, everyone manifests differently, but envisioning you physically being with that person is really a good way to manifest someone in the physical to come to you faster. Okay, so how would you act in your home if you had someone there? Would you then sit down and actually watch a movie with them and spend time with them, or would you still constantly be up trying to find something to do? So, your thinking is going to have to change, right? When they come into your life, because you're going to have to spend time with this person, you're going to have to nurture a relationship. So you're going to have to, there will be a need to free up time also, time and space, right? Um, envisioning yourself to be, how would you think or move if you had a companion? Would you still be doing the same things you're doing, or would you kind of change, the way you're doing things? Like I said, would you dial back those hours at work, or will you keep volunteering for overtime? You know what I mean? Like, it's making those kind of decisions, but making them before this person comes in is very important. And you manifesting, this person coming into you. Okay, so y'all, that's all I'm kind of getting right now. So I will hope y'all just comment, your thoughts, whatever you think, how you guys are manifesting, what you guys are doing to create space. Please comment, leave it in the comments because I feel like it might help someone else. How are you creating space in your life for your lover, your husband, a family that you want, a baby that you want? Because some people might even want a baby, but you have to clean your house. You have to get your home ready. Maybe save up to get a bigger space so you can have a bedroom for a crib. Now you need a two-bedroom instead of a one. Maybe start looking for that two-bedroom and then start creating around that. Start planning to have this baby. and you'll probably get pregnant like that. You know what I mean? Maybe you've been having trouble getting pregnant, but there's no space for this baby in a tiny studio apartment, and maybe y'all's jobs is not, going to be helpful in the situation. Maybe there's a need to go back, take a few extra classes, learn another skill, make this extra money, get that 2 bedroom apartment, and you probably won't have any problems getting pregnant then. So I just got that download as well. So all right, y'all, just let me know. Like I said, just leave some information in the comments. How are y'all creating space? And I feel like it will just definitely help other people in the community, in our collective, to just kind of get some suggestions, some ideas. Because I feel like we can always learn from each other. We can always learn from anybody. I always try to stay in the mind frame of learning, that I don't feel like I'm above anyone. I can learn from everybody. I can learn something from everybody. Okay. All right, y'all. I will see y'all in the next Straight Talk. Bye, y'all.